Ladies and gentlemen, today our guest on the podcast is an old friend of mine at this point, which is fucking crazy. We were running around doing open mics in San Jose, California for about 2 years, and he won my comedy competition at Lily Max.
That's my proudest achievement.
I think he won $150 in exchange for 3 weeks of work. So,
and I think a certificate. It was a one night. It was a one night thing.
It was 2 nights.
Really?
Yeah, you had to advance through the semis. So,
that's pathetic.
Good job there. But recent Netflix protege with the most viral clip in Netflix's A Joke history, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Goodcase.
Hey, oh my God.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. You know, it's soaking in that Austin humidity.
It's fucking brutal out there right now.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I find myself sweating more than I do normally, and I don't know. It's not like me.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm drinking too much water. I think I need to stop drinking
I don't think
water.
you're drinking enough water.
I'm sweating too much. I need to start drinking more booze, I think. Dry me out a little bit.
Dude, I think that when I live here, in the morning, I try to drink like 100 ounces of water during the day. That's usually the number. Otherwise, I'm just like pissing bright yellow, and I'm dying.
Have you thought about converting to the metric system?
You know what, Ryan? Fucking an ounce is an ounce.
100 ounces.
It's a lot of shit.
That's a kiloounce. That's what I've started to do is mix the metric.
A kiloounce?
Yeah, kiloinches, kilofeet.
All right, we're back.
I wish I was buzzed right now.
Do you want to get drunk?
No.
We can do that if you want. We can get fucked up.
It sounds fun, and then I do it, and then I get really tired and sad. Yeah.
That's the whole point, dude. You're supposed to get tired and sad.
I don't know. Maybe it would be fun.
I usually get like a nice little light pick me up from like an afternoon drink. It's pretty good.
Every day?
No, not every day. A couple times a week, for sure. I'll have like an afternoon bevy, but I always think, I'm gonna love it, and it's awesome. And then like 5 o'clock rolls around, and you're just like, sweet Jesus.
It's got a definite shelf life. It's nice to drink and then go take a nap and then wake up and then go out.
See, I hate the drinking and then taking a nap, because if I drink during the day and then I go back and I take a nap, I wake up just with maybe like the worst anxiety humanly possible. I wake up and immediately I'm just like, oh fuck, dude. I wake up from a hangover nap and I just like, I feel like the whole world is caving in. I'm like, everybody hates me. What did I do?
You should explore that in therapy. So what you should do is you should get really drunk, have like 12 beers, take a 1 hour nap, and then go straight to your therapist and explore your feelings.
Like, look, you're not doing your job well. You are not good at this.
Will they talk to you if you show up to therapy drunk?
I think they just have to send you home, right?
I don't know.
Showing up to therapy drunk would be a good time. Can you do your impression of you showing up to therapy drunk? Ryan, what do you want to talk about today?
My fucking mother.
What's your relationship with your mother like?
Well, I'm her son, and she's a great mom. I love her a lot. I'm actually doing okay.
You doing pretty good?
Yeah.
How was your nap today?
It was good. I don't want to do this improv.
Okay. Did you ever do improv at all? Did you ever fuck around with that?
I did a little bit in college.
No way.
Yeah, I don't like acting as anything other than myself. You know, it's like, why taint the original?
Your character on stage is just you as
pretty
a person,
much,
which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, pretty unemotional. I've been actually trying to be more myself. I think I try to play too much into the monotone, deadpan thing for a while, and I wasn't being real. But I've gotten over that. I had a little bit more fun on stage.
You are having fun, I can tell.
People see the real me.
It's a good time, dude.
It is fun. It's weird, like when you try to be like the deadpan monotone guy, you have to fight against having fun. You have to like try to stifle smiles and not laugh. And at a certain point, you're like, well, what am I doing? Like, why? Like, what other thing am I trying to not look like I'm having a good time?
But when you smile by accident, like, people love it.
Yeah.
Like, there was this moment, like, you know the band Dry Cleaning?
Yeah.
So she does the whole, like, she's basically like reading a poem on stage while they're playing the song. She does this in like this monotone thing.
Yeah.
And we saw them at Primavera, where she played for like 10,000 people for the first time. And after the first song was just like, And everybody just went nuts because she like cracked a smile and the whole place was just like, she almost cried.
Wow.
It was sick. It was like I almost cried too. It was crazy because you
Yeah.
could see like a person living their dream.
Yeah.
And so I think when you're like monotone and you have that crack, it's not like you're giving away the keys to the castle. I think everybody kind of likes it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to like ever rely on that. Like sometimes you watch like old SNLs and you see like Jimmy Fallon doing that like breaking shit and you're like, oh, that just became his thing. I don't want it to be like a tool that I use, but when it happens organically, it's fun.
His shtick became breaking character.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. That's actually totally true.
And I don't know, and he still does it on his talk show, and that really might just be how he is as a person. He really might just enjoy life that much, but I'm a little suspicious.
He's so stoked on life.
Yeah. Like, I wish, what's your philosophy on this? Like, do you think as an entertainer you should show up to each show and deliver the same product, and like even if you're feeling really sick and depressed and tired, you should be like a high energy if you're a high energy comic, or is it your responsibility to like deliver to the audience how you're feeling in that moment?
So excellent question. I've actually gone back and forth about this a lot because I need to get kind of like hyped up before I go up there, and just on days when I'm just okay, I'll give you an example. Like I did shows in Dublin, Ireland, and
Oh, that's sick.
it was fucking awesome. But night one, I did like 3 shows. Everything went great. Night 2, I got fucking food poisoning.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so
From
I had
what?
just like, I ate like a just gnarly piece of chicken curry and was like really hungover. So I was kind of like having like a panic attack, and also like was sick, and then had to try to go on stage and perform. And yeah, dude, in that moment, rather than just being like, all right, this is where I'm at, I'm kind of low energy today, I was just like, I'm going to try to like deliver these drinking and driving jokes with vigor. and it didn't land at all because I was noticeably not having fun,
Right.
but trying to act like I was, where if I was just like, yo, I'm fucking so hungover.
Been shitting all day.
Yeah, but like then I mean, there are parts of it where it's an act, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a reason they say it's your act. It's because you are doing pre-written material that is and you kind of act it out.
Right.
And you know the beats to it. And so if you were going to change the feeling behind it, the rhythm of the song changes entirely. Like it would be like if fucking Foster the People went up there played Pumped Up Kicks, and they were like, oh, we're in a bad mood today, so we're gonna set it and we're gonna drag it 20 BPM.
Yeah, although that might be kind of fun. Like when you go to a concert, you don't want them to play it exactly the same way as they do in the studio. I feel like you want the live performance to be like something different. And I guess you wouldn't want every song to be like a depressed version of the song. Like you'd want some variety. But yeah, I guess you are just kind of like they want like a standard product. I don't know. Yeah, as long as you're entertaining. Like,
as long as
I
you
think
can
that's
get
fine.
the job done.
Yeah, I don't know how much expectations people roll in with a comedian. Like if they're like, oh, I need Shane Gillis to be saying dude and laughing a lot. Can you imagine Shane Gillis doing a really depressed set? Do you think that would work? It's like just seriously contemplating ending his own life. Do you think people would find that funny?
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta happen though, where he just has. I mean,
I don't know if he feels sadness. He always seems like he's having a good time.
I don't know, man. I know he drinks too, right? So I would imagine there's got to be some Saturday sets for Shane Gillis where he had 18 beers Friday night, and now it's time to go get it again.
Yeah,
and that feeling of like getting up there and you're gonna be like,
yeah.
It can't be fun.
That's why I do have an advantage, like doing the style of comedy I do, where it's pretty low energy. I can do this for like 50 years.
Yeah.
But if you like bathe this reputation of like running around stage and being happy, and then you do that for 20 years, and then your body starts falling apart.
Casey Rocket tears his ACL.
Yeah.
Next year, you're like,
put him out of commission, man. You'd have to like. Could you imagine Casey Rocket having to like sit on a stool doing a set?
it'd be terrible. Brandon, do you think you could do your act depressed?
Not as well, probably. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not like super high energy. I do have like a monotone voice, but I also don't think I'm like low energy. So probably I probably couldn't do it super depressed. I've had like sad nights where I've just been bombing, and I'm like, this is because you don't want to be here,
Right?
and they can feel that, you know.
And I think if you're honest about that, you have a better chance of like getting a laugh than trying to just force your material through whatever lens you're feeling. Like there's this like thing in music where people really like home recordings, like, oh, we're like in Austin, you know, Daniel Johnston, they like this idea of you're writing a song and you're recording it right now because you're feeling this way and you just wanted to put a recording, as opposed to like going to a studio and tweaking everything and making sure everything's set up right and then trying to replicate that feeling you had, you know, when you wrote the song. And I think with stand-up, like if you're able to like project how you're feeling right now in that moment through your jokes, that could like give it a level of authenticity, as opposed to like, I know if I say it this way with these beats, with these words, it'll hit perfectly, like the Seinfeld method. I don't think he like you know, varies his act based on how he's feeling. I think he's kind of robotic.
I think he's Jerry fucking Seinfeld.
Yeah, I think he delivers it just as it is on his fucking yellow notepad.
Dude, I struggle with that for sure, where I get, you know, my energy levels peak at some point during the day, right? Like I'm a true believer in that. Like there are moments in the day where you're fired up and you're ready to go, and I was running into this problem where the time of day that I used to be like dragging would be 7 to 9.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, so the hours I was going out to do stand-up, I was like, fuck, like just too beat up. And so I would be trying to get the job done, and I just couldn't do it.
Damn.
And like one of the issues that I have is I write during the day, and sometimes I'm like super high energy, and I'm like, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And then you go to the show, and you look at your notes, and you're like, what? Like I have, like literally in the span of 4 hours, like the memory of where my head was at when I wrote it is completely gone.
Yeah.
And so I can't get there anymore.
Yeah, also the translation of like notepad to saying it on stage, there's always like a bit of a schism there. Like I don't think any of my jokes are fully realized until I say them on stage. I truly believe there's almost no joke that I keep the way that I originally wrote it. I've got to just like say it and then be like, oh, I should say it differently next time, and then keep doing that until I get the final form.
Keep modifying it.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan of the voice recorder too.
Okay.
Like I use that more than anything, because I'll think of a bit and I'll just go, I used to write it down, and then, you know, like Louie claims he'll just write down like an idea.
Yeah.
Just like the basic, not even the template, but just like the name of the bit. And
Yeah.
then he'll remember it when he gets up there.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah.
I will write down like parakeet, and then I'll get there and I'll be like, what? I'm like,
what is a parakeet?
what the fuck was I thinking? Yeah. But dude, if I use the voice recorder, I'm like, all right, I know exactly what I meant at this time. I knew exactly what I'm trying to do on this.
Yeah.
Like, this is great.
That's fair. I think I am more actually like the Louie thing, where I'll write down an idea and then later I'll try to flush it out fully, writing it out on the computer. That's like a new thing for me, as I do it like in Google Drive, and I have each joke as a new document, so I can like look at all the jokes I'm working on. I've been kind of liking that as opposed to a notepad, but I've gone through so many fucking different like methods of writing, and none of them stick. Like everything I do is so sporadic and streaky. I've never had like a routine that I've kept for more than a few months. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the bit file system that I've been on for like a year and a half.
Okay.
And it's the best thing I've ever done. It's fucking great.
Use it on the computer?
Yeah, so I have like Evernote, and I have 6 different buckets. So like one is like shit that it basically is stuff that I haven't tried, stuff that I'm trying to figure out if it works.
Yeah.
Those are like 1 and 2. And then 3 is, okay, I've learned it's working. We're trying to figure it out. 4 is like just trying to get it all the way there. 5 is like, it's ready to ship. It's done.
Okay.
And then I have the recycling bin. And like over the last year, I have like 100 bits in the recycling bin. It's fucking, the number is astounding.
You should do a special with just those jokes.
Dude, well, bro, if I can't think of new material, that's my number one source of new shit.
Yeah.
I'll go back in there and I'll just be like, what is the funniest idea in here? Or what's the least funny idea?
I do believe like in those jokes there was something there that can work, and sometimes you do just need to come back to it, like, you know, months or years later to make it work. That is rewarding because you're like, I knew this was fucking funny. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. Because I'll get in a rut. I'll start doing it the same way over and over and being like, this is going to work, and it never does. I'll do that.
Rut is tough.
Yeah. So if you step away from it, sometimes you'll come at it from a different angle and be worth it.
Dude, I think that's like kind of true with everything, right? Because I think the majority of our audience that's listening is not going to be stand-up. So I'm like, how does this translate to everything else?
I thought our audience was just stand-up.
They're all comedians. So they're 100% comedians.
Yeah.
But like if I'm looking at this from like any other angle, I think that's kind of true, like whether it's music or even like a presentation that you're giving at work.
Mm-hmm.
If you just keep hammering it, and I've had this thing where you'll be doing a bit and all of a sudden it stops working.
Right.
And it's like, why did it stop working? It's because I fucking hate doing it.
Yeah.
And I think you just like, someone described like, you know, doing LSD and mushrooms as like you are walking in like these snow paths, right? And you just create these lanes that you walk in, and they get deeper and deeper with every footpath.
Yeah.
So like initially, you know, there's a temptation to go a different way, but eventually like you've carved a full alley in there.
Right.
So like, why not take that path? And then mushrooms make it just snow.
Yeah.
And it fills everything back in. And you can kind of find these new paths and these new ways of thinking, and the old ways of thinking don't seem as appealing.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you can kind of go wherever you want. And I love that attitude. And I think it's like, it's parallel to stand up for sure. When I overcook a bit, or I'm working on something and you can just go the wrong direction with it, and you're committed to saying something that part of the joke has bombed every night for months.
Yeah.
But because it's the way you've been doing it, you're like, this is how we got to do it, you know?
There is also a stubborn part of me that'll be like, no, this is funny. Like, I know it's bombed every single time I've tried it, and people consistently don't like it. They don't see what I see, but I think it's funny. I think you need some of those. It gives you the flavor, you know? Like maybe only one or two people will comment and be like, yeah, that's good. But for me, that's worth it.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing that just hasn't worked?
My favorite thing that hasn't worked. I really want to make a joke work about sudden infant death syndrome. I just think that's a funny name for it. Like, there's very few...
SIDS?
Yeah. Well, it's just like so on the nose. There's very like usually you don't know what the disease is based on the name. Like arthritis, you don't know what that is unless you like learn it. But sudden infant death syndrome is just like it's all right there, you know. And like a lot of diseases are named after people, you know, like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. I think is probably a guy, but like no one
Lou
wanted
Gehrig's disease.
Yeah, no one wanted to be named after sudden infant death syndrome. Like, they wanted to make it like little Tommy's disease. Or like the guy who discovered it, it was like, you know, was just finding like a dead baby in a crib. He wasn't going to be proud of it. He's like, I call it Ryan's disease. So anyways, I've tried that a few times, but I think it just takes, people don't like dead baby jokes.
I love them.
Yeah, but I think... it's funny, when I wrote that, I didn't even think of it as a dead baby joke, but at its heart, it is.
What's the difference between a trampoline and a dead baby?
What?
I would never wear cleats on the trampoline.
Yeah. See, that's how
do you get 8 dead babies in a bucket?
You have these on lock. How?
A blender.
That's not even clever. That's just functionally accurate.
How do you get them out?
How?
Tostitos.
Oh, good God. Awful. But see, okay, I'm going to elevate my jokes better than those. I like my joke better than the dead baby ones.
I think yours is actually clever.
Yeah.
From a clever angle.
Yeah. But people don't like to think about that, which is fair. I'm sure if that's happened to anyone, it's the most awful thing that's ever happened to you, and you won't be able to laugh at a joke about it. But that's not going to stop me from doing it.
Well, I think that's true for everything, and it's sort of why, in a weird way, I'm like pro rape joke.
Okay.
I think if you actually, I'm not talking about the ones where like we're kind of talking about this the way here, the ones that are so unclever and but like the Louie one, like.
I don't know which one.
There's no reason to rape someone unless you want to fuck them and they won't let you.
Yeah.
And then, like, but the reason I'm pro that is because that's the worst thing if that happens to someone, that's like the worst thing in their life, right?
Probably.
Like, also,
hopefully.
ALS, like if you had a parent that died of ALS,
Yeah.
you would never want to hear a joke about ALS. Or like if you had someone die of cancer in your life.
Yeah.
Like these are the most fucked up things that can happen, and it's like I don't know why there's a red line around that one in particular.
Yeah, I heard Jeselnik say once that like everyone has their own like triggers and things, but like he's like, I have things that I find offensive that I won't be able to laugh at. Like everyone has those things, but you just have to like know that about yourself and know that those are your triggers, and that it's not like about the comedian or anyone else. And I think that's my philosophy with it. The other way of thinking that I see people do is that like joking about certain things has an effect on behavior. Like in some way, Louis C.K. making that joke about rape makes rape like more acceptable, or a rapist be like, I'm going to do this because of that Louis C.K. joke.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is accurate, at least all the time. Maybe sometimes it is with certain things, but I think for the most part, if you see a guy on stage at a comedy show talking to a mic, most people can be like, this is a joke. This is, not true what he's saying.
That is a good point, where it's like me talking about drinking and driving on stage and opening it up on like 3 minutes of material about how I like drinking and driving.
Yeah.
There might be somebody that does hear that bit and goes, yeah, like that comedian drinks and drives too. So like, why shouldn't I? Like I was going to call an Uber home from the show and I won't because of him.
I think it'll be even more subtle than that. It'll be like he'll have heard 10 comedians do drunk driving jokes, and then in the back of his head, not even a conscious thought, it'll be like, oh yeah, everyone does this. That's what I imagine would actually be.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true.
Yeah.
But then if you look at it and you go, okay, are we just... Let's say that's actually true, and you are actually like normalizing behavior.
Yeah.
And that's the word. You're taking shit that should be unacceptable in society. In a way, we're kind of making it normal.
Right.
Is that a risk worth taking?
I think so, because the alternative is then you only write jokes about doing the right thing. Like which to me is just insane. Like this was a really big thing in the Bay Area. I hate the brand of comedy where like you're always the good guy. The person speaking is always the good guy. They're always the smart guy. Everyone else is stupid and wrong. Like to me, that's not funny. Like it's
not funny at all.
You're like an instructor. You're closer to a pastor than a comedian. You're being like, this is the way. And I would rather to me, it's funny to be the idiot or the bad person or like think of things the wrong way. That's where humor comes from for me.
Dude, in the Bay, that definitely was it was so prevalent.
Yeah.
Everybody had to be the good guy.
I just don't get that impulse. Like, do you want us to laugh at you, or do you want us to think that like you're so goddamn smart? It's dumb.
You are smart as fuck, dude. What an intellectual. Dude, like I will write something down, and I hate to admit it, but there are like points where I'll write something down, I'll be like, fuck man, like that's a great angle, and like it really is like a bit about this disguised as a bit about this, and I'm like, fuck, that was... I've written something down and gone, that was a smart take. And then immediately just been like, dude, fuck you. Oh my God.
Well, I don't mind that. There's room for that. But if that's your whole thing, I think it's kind of pathetic. Like, I think then you just end up writing your bits around how you should think. Like, I don't know. If you're trying to be creative and come up with your own takes and they happen to be smart, great. That's awesome. I think that's respectable. But if you're writing around like the common consensus and like what you think you should be saying, that doesn't lead to original jokes. It just leads to like, droning, buzzing shit.
I think down here it is kind of the opposite, where the hack thing might be to say the most wrong thing.
Yeah. That's also a problem, yeah.
Which is where like, okay, so like you could say the San Francisco breed of comedy was, how do I be the A1 correct, perfect take from the most, where I look like the person that has the right opinions, and we were both there from, I was our overlapping period in the Bay was 2018 to 2020. So we were there during the Trump administration in a period where it was pretty common to just slam dunk, and a joke would be like Republicans. My God. And you're like, and then the other one here is like, this is the opposite of that, where people know that, you know, some people know that rape is wrong. So we'll just get up there and just be like, so fucking raping my stepdaughter, and everybody's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a fine line. I mean, I don't know.
It's a pretty thick line. I think it's pretty easy to paint between those two.
I think the fine line is like, yeah, you know, you're right. It's a thick line between those two, but it's like, it's a fine line between devoting yourself to one end of the spectrum and like where do you introduce the nuance and the originality? I guess it's just like having personal takes and being true to yourself and exploring like what you actually think, rather than trying to like write jokes that work. I don't know if I believe anything I'm saying. Can I put that disclaimer on everything that I've said so far?
100%.
Okay. I don't know if I believe any of this.
Yeah, I think some people have. I don't know. When we were in the South Bay, the South Bay was one of the weirdest places I've ever lived, for sure, because you and I are living in this place where you have the richest companies on planet Earth, some of the wealthiest people, some of the smartest people on Earth living in this area, and then we're going to go do stand-up at Woodham's Lounge with the biggest alcoholics that have literally ever lived. And we were talking about this on the way here. We were at this. There were these two regulars at the bar. One was Jen, and the other was Tom. And I thought these people were in their 80s. Like they were fucked up. Like they looked ancient. Yeah. And one night, Jen and me were smoking a cigarette in front of the bar, and she's like, you know, out of nowhere, she just said this. She goes, I was born in 1959, and I was like, you're only 60? Like, you look 85. Like, you look like she had a walker with the tennis balls on the bottom and everything. And her hobby was to go to Woodham's and drink a dozen beers, smoke a pack of cigarettes, and then fucking drive home.
I wonder if our open mic comedy helped age her. Like, if hearing every Monday, like, the worst takes by San Jose State students, plus the alcohol and the cigarettes, just turned her into an 85-year-old woman.
Dude, I mean, that open mic was just, it was a huge part of my development, for sure, where it was, you know, I love being in San Jose because a lot of people try to start in a scene like this, and there's just no place for the new guy. Yeah. As like a 2-year comic, goddamn, what a place to be.
Oh, I did feel very welcome there, yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, dude, being in a bar like that, I just can't imagine being so glued to the bar that you hate stand-up and you still go on Monday because it's just where you are.
Yeah. Unless you like to hate things. Maybe that made them feel better about themselves. Like, yeah, my life might be shit, but at least I'm not trying to fucking become Dave Chappelle with no talent. Because there is something uniquely sad about watching someone pursue something that you know they'll never do. I'm not saying that everyone who went there won't become successful, but there's definitely some people you can watch do comedy and you're like, I just don't think it's all there, you know?
It's never going to happen for that person. I don't think
it'll ever be there. There's something uniquely sad about that.
Shout out. I could name so many names. I could just go through a Rolodex of deep ones.
The only thing that makes it not sad is if you enjoy doing it in the moment and that's enough for you. But if you're doing it like, oh, I suck right now and I hate this right now, but as soon as I figure it out and I'm famous, it's all going to work out. That's what's sad to me.
It's the unique thing about stand-up as a hobby too, is that like I think there is some pleasure in like learning the guitar even when you're bad at it. I can't imagine enjoying the first year of stand-up. I couldn't imagine a world where I liked it.
I don't know. My first set was really good. Really? So I was kind of like chasing that high. So there was parts of it fun. But yeah, like day to day, like doing bad is not fun. That's never fun. But chasing that, like trying to get good, that pursuit is pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think.
I can't even remember the first time I did well. I legitimately can't remember. I have no recollection of my first good
it
set.
wasn't that long ago. You should be able to remember.
It was last night at Perfume Dragon or wherever we were the second set of the night. Avant Garden.
That was rough.
That's off.
I want to go back to, well, I don't want to say what kind of joke this is, but this is one of my favorite jokes of a genre we talked about earlier. Rodney Dangerfield, he has a joke where he's like, sometimes I feel like people only sleep with me because who I am. A rapist. That's probably my favorite rape joke. And see, that's another, like, that illustrates another thing is like sometimes you might not find the subject matter funny, but you have to admit that the logic of that joke is funny. Like, structurally, undeniable. It's a great joke.
Yeah.
I think that, like, you have to, if you're going to enjoy comedy in all its parts, you have to be like, okay, writing a joke about something isn't the same as making fun of something. Does that make sense? Does that distinction make sense?
Yes. Like Louie's bit about 9/11 is not making fun of the people that died in 9/11.
Right.
It's not going, ha ha.
Yeah.
You got stuck in the 85th floor of Tower 2.
Yeah.
Stupid. That's not what the joke is. The joke is not about the people combing through the rubble that got cancer,
right,
trying to rescue people on 9/11.
Yeah.
That's not what this is. The joke is 9/11. Am jerking off at 9/11, basically.
Yeah, it's using all that despair and misery to contrast him sexually pleasing himself.
Was it you with the enthusiastic consent bit?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Where, you got to get them to say, hell yeah. Do you want to have sex with me? Hell yeah. Like Stone Cold.
Hell yeah, dude.
Can I get a hell yeah? That's what it is.
Yeah,
if you want to see the full version of that joke,
please go look at Ryan on YouTube.
Yeah. Maybe They're Dead. That's the name of my special. That's right. I'm doing the plug in the middle of the podcast.
Fuck yeah. Put it right in the middle.
Yeah.
Plug some tour dates while you're at it, too.
I don't know the dates, but go to my website.
Go to ryangoodcase.com.
That's right.
Is that the website?
Yeah.
You got it?
I'm the only Ryan Goodcase in the world that's ever been.
That's not true.
There it is. There's only like 26 good cases in the country, or in the world, rather.
Really?
Yeah.
Where does the name come from?
It comes from, in Germany, it was Gutkäse. It was good cheese. And then it got translated.
Queso?
Yeah, Kase.
Do you think that like has a lineup with like queso?
I don't know. Is German Latin, or what is it called? Are they related, German and Spanish? Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because it's not a romance. It's like the opposite of a romance language, right?
So is they're distant cousins.
German and Spanish?
Yeah, like they don't. It says they share a lot in common. They're both distant cousins in the Indo-European family of languages.
Distant
Whatever
cousins.
the fuck that means.
It means they can still fuck.
Yeah.
That's a romance language in my book. That's the most romantic language. Between two distant cousins.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine? German and a Spanish cousin fucking? That's hot.
It's disgusting.
But anyways, yeah, then it changed to Goodcase of the Ellis Island or whatever. And I think I've got like unfuckable genes. Like most of the men on my dad's side have not had kids, or they've been women who have not wanted to keep their last name. So if I don't have a son and my brother doesn't and one of my cousins, the good cases are probably going to die out.
That's a tough situation.
I guess.
You thinking about blowing some loads, keeping it going?
No, I have no desire to do that now. Maybe that'll come when I'm like 40. I think like once you start nearing death, you're like, all right, I didn't do anything with my life. I better make someone else who will with my name, so I can like, I can claim that. I didn't do anything, but I had a son who did. But right now, I have no impulse to do that.
You're doing a lot of good things with your life, right?
Yeah. Well, my dad is like, he's getting super into genealogy and like tracing our family tree. I honestly think that's what it is. He's like, well, my life's almost over. Let's see what these other people did with their lives. And then just like tracking it. But to me, that's not very interesting.
Depressing.
I feel no more relation to like good cases 2 generations ago than I do to like Joe Begley or Brandon, whatever your last name is. Like,
Lejean.
Brandon John?
Lejean.
Oh, Lejean. Okay,
Super
that's
French
cool.
Canadian.
If it was just John.
DRE.
Yeah.
Still DRE, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I have like I met a lot of my second cousins in Ireland, and it's like second and third cousins. Once you get to a third cousin, you're like, you're just a friend almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're an acquaintance. Like there's no emotional connection to a third cousin. You can't have any.
Right. I mean, I might not even go that far. I don't know if I even feel that with my cousin.
Really? You don't care at all?
I think it was just a matter of just like spending a lot of time with them. Like if you were like, this is your cousin Joe, and we like would see each other a few times a year and hang out, I think I would feel just as close as I would a biological cousin. I don't think it has anything to do with their bloodline.
Or even people that are adopted.
Yeah.
And they hear that their like biological father died.
Right.
And you're like,
Or
okay.
that their biological dad wants to marry them. Or no, I'm sorry, adopted dad. I was trying to think of Woody Allen.
Shout out Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Dude. What do you think of the Woody Allen story?
I just don't learn about these stories, so I don't have to have a strong opinion because I don't.
Do you know
wanna
what
be
actually
wrong.
went down?
I know he married his adopted daughter, right?
Yeah.
And he adopted her when she was like very small.
I think it was his wife's. So he got remarried, and his wife had an adopted daughter.
Oh, so he never adopted, but it was like a step adopted daughter.
He was a step adopted dad.
Man, that's like deep Pornhub page. Find that. Yeah, I would go ahead and say that that's wrong.
Yeah, that's not okay.
I think that's a pretty clear abuse of power as a dad over an adopted daughter.
There's like he's tried to get out of it, but then it's like, dude, you have videos of her sitting on your lap as like a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Like that's not. There's nothing okay about that.
I think, yeah, regardless of the circumstances, if you've sat on the person's lap at 10 years old, you shouldn't be having sex with them.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Okay. Do you believe in any sort of afterlife of any kind, reincarnation?
No. I mean, it might happen, but I don't like believe it in the sense I think it's the least logical thing that'll happen after you die. But it could happen.
I think you're dead forever.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. Well, I think I think they use an illusion.
Does that freak you out a little bit?
No, I guess if I really sit down and think about it, it might stress me out. But at the end of the day, it's like that's what everyone has to, face.
Mm-hmm.
Like you all have to come to terms with the fact that you're gonna die. I don't think you want to bank on there being an afterlife. I think you want to like get your kicks in now.
Do you feel like you're getting your kicks in?
Yeah, I'm living life.
You got some
more or less
fudge
how I
from
want to.
Buckees on the way home last night.
Dude, I got a 20-piece sampler.
You got a 20-piece sampler?
Yeah, it just came in a box.
Oh my God, Ryan.
Well, dude, I got a big box of fudge. I got distilled water for my CPAP, and I got a brisket sandwich and a Coke Zero for $28. That's a great deal.
I love the Coke Zero on top of that. Hilarious.
Well, okay.
After 28 pieces of fudge, you're like, we can't have any sugar in the Coke.
That's sunken cost fallacy. You think just because I have fudge that I need to like add more sugar to that?
Yes.
I think soda is an easy place for me to cut calories, and I will always do that.
Are you trying to cut calories right now?
No, just like a general thing. Like I don't want to overdo it, and soda that'll fuck you up with calories. If you like drink as much soda as I do, and you don't drink diet, like that'll fuck you up.
Oh, how much soda do you drink?
It's definitely like maybe 1 or 2 a day. I like doing mixed drinks a lot. So like vodka, soda, or whiskey, Coke, or whatever.
So I am a massive whiskey Coke guy.
Yeah.
I love the taste of an IPA, and I love the taste of a whiskey Coke, and I was crushing whiskey Cokes for a little bit.
Do you ever do diet, or do you always do real Coke?
Always regular Coke. And I was waking up the next day and just being like, holy fuck, this is the worst hangover I've ever had in my life. And it's like, yeah, dude, it's because you had 8 Cokes.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay.
I'm sure that much Diet Coke is also not good for you.
Yeah,
but,
they just aspartame and Jameson just rolling around in your stomach.
But I don't know. It feels better. I don't know.
Dude, since I've moved down here, since it is so hot when you're drinking the whiskey Cokes in the heat, it doesn't really do anything for you.
Uh-huh.
I like a tall ranch water right now.
Yeah.
Because you get the soda water in there, and then they just crush you with lime juice. And it honestly feels like you're drinking a health drink.
Right, yeah.
It's fucking delicious.
I bet you get that vitamin C. I bet it is kind of healthy.
Yeah, it's good.
You sold me. I'll do that. Although I don't know if I can order that outside of Austin.
Can you? Brandon, you know if that's a thing outside of Austin?
I had never heard of it, but let me look.
Like if I showed up to a dive bar in Philadelphia and I asked for a ranch water, I'm pretty sure they'd kick my ass.
Yeah, so it's originates in Texas and is often linked only with Austin, Texas. Because it's used with Topo Chico.
Really?
Yeah.
If I ordered a ranch water in Michigan, they would give me water in Hidden Valley Ranch. Just pour it in. That's the Midwest ranch water. That's when you're trying to like cut calories, so you water down your ranch. That's 50% fat. That's a Michigan ranch water. I like that.
What is ranch?
The buttermilk.
What is buttermilk?
It's milk with really high fat content, and then I'm sure there's some spices in there. Are you looking this up?
Yep, it's salt, garlic, onion, mustard, herbs, and then the spices are onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper.
That's exactly what I said.
Yep.
There's no milk in there?
No, there's buttermilk. He was
Oh.
right. Yeah, it says made from buttermilk.
And then what is buttermilk? Just milk with high fat content?
Let me find that out real quick.
They skim out less of the fat. That's the thing they don't tell you, man. Whole milk. It's only
It's
like...
fermented.
All right, never mind.
So it's the liquid left
Fermented,
behind
ew.
from churning butter out of the cream.
Damn, fermented. I wonder if you could make alcoholic ranch. That would be sick. You ferment it a little bit longer. You get drunk on ranch, eating wings and getting fucked up.
Oh my God, gross.
Imagine throwing up ranch after drinking a gallon of it.
Oh, that's fucking
It
disgusting.
just pulls up ranch water when I look up alcoholic ranch. So maybe you are onto something, dude.
I think this is my new idea.
Ew.
Sell that after shows. Do a shot of ranch. Do a pickleback shot.
You're in pretty good shape, though.
Yeah, I was working out for a while, and then
You left?
I stopped. Well, I had surgery, and then I left my day job, so I was using ClassPass. Stopped doing that. I don't have a membership anywhere.
What
So,
were you doing for workouts? And what was your injury?
I was going to these like boxing classes, like the Rumble boxing. Do you know those? It's
Do you
basically
think you
that.
could fuck somebody up in a fight?
I could fuck up a small person. I could fuck up a small person who had no fighting experience and wasn't prepared to fight me. Like they didn't know it was coming.
Who do you think would win in a fight, me or Brandon?
I think you've got some like killer energy that I haven't yet seen. I don't know Brandon very well.
Yeah.
But you seem like a pretty chill guy.
I think Brandon's got 30 pounds of me, though.
I played Division I football too. I can re-unlock something and kill you.
Okay.
Brandon could beat the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I think.
That answer has made me switch.
Yeah.
I'm going with Brandon.
I was trying to find if you could ferment buttermilk and make it become like alcohol. And while I can't find that answer, there are several forums that are about can you drink buttermilk after several rum and cokes. There's multiple websites discussing this, both a subreddit and a stackexchange.com.
What's the answer?
They said that creams don't typically mix well with ethanol, but you won't have any like negative functions. If you just drink a lot, it will make you sick in general.
Oh my God. That's so specific, it makes me think it's a reference to something. Like, I wonder if that's a Trailer Park Boys thing, because that guy always drank rum and coke.
Find more about it.
The fact that it's rum and coke, the specificity of it is too much for me to think it's a coincidence. That's a good drink, too. You know,
Because there's a popular Southern myth that drinking buttermilk prior to alcohol consumption has preventative hangover benefits. So people think if you drink it after, it will also help.
Interesting.
That's a virgin birth right there.
You know, people say picklebacks. That's a hangover prevention. Have you heard that? It's got a lot of electrolytes.
Yeah, I choose to just drink the electrolytes right when I go out.
Yeah, like Liquid IV or Powerade or something.
I don't even do them anymore because like just the Liquid IV sticks are like $1.50, and the equivalent cost I think it was 5,000 servings of potassium for like $20 on Amazon.
Just pure potassium.
Yeah, just pure potassium citrate. And then I got like just a giant bag of like Celtic salt, and I just do a quarter tablespoon of those.
What's Celtic salt?
Just like it's like sea salt, nice sea
From
salt
Ireland?
From Ireland, dude.
Okay, you
Yeah,
got that
dude.
heritage pride.
Yeah, bro.
Do you think that your salt is better than our salt, or is it just like?
Objectively, yes, Ryan. You
Really?
The Goodcase salt. The good.
No, I'm sorry. When I say our salt, I just mean like regular
I
table
can't
salt.
believe you're talking shit over there about your fucking salt.
It's high in trace minerals and electrolytes.
That's right.
Trace minerals. I prefer like my minerals to be there or not be there. I don't want this trace shit.
Dude, I will fucking come over there right now.
I've never heard of Celtic salt. But I'm being real. Like, do you actually think it's better, or is it just like, oh, if I'm going to support somebody,
I feel like when I take the table salt and just mix the table salt directly into a a glass of water, there's
Uh-huh.
something disturbing about that.
Okay.
So I have to get the thicker Irish salt, or I feel like it degenerate.
Well,
That's
so
what it is.
do you think Celtic is better than Himalayan?
I have Himalayan pink salt too.
Oh, you do both?
Yeah, but I used the Himalayan for cooking just because I like it's big and chunky. You just pick it up and drop it in. It's fucking great.
Okay, interesting. I'll try some of your Celtic salt.
You can have some.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit, dude. I'll give you a quarter teaspoon of those.
Maybe that's what allows Irish people to drink so much and not be hungover, is their salt. I'll try it, man. I'll try it.
They get hungover. I was just there. They get pretty hungover.
Dude, I know it's like cliche or whatever, but Irish accent, one of the hottest accents.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
When I was in an Uber once, like an Uber pool, this girl in the front seat had an Irish accent. She just talked to me and my friend for like 5 minutes, and I was instantly in love with her. Like, I would marry her just so I could listen to her talk. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm a feminist, dude. I love hearing women talk. As long as it's like, as long as it's a funny accent. Irish and Australian, those two really do it for me.
Australian is instant, and I love it so much. I would.
You ever listen to Margot Robbie talk like normally?
She has an Australian accent.
Yeah, she's from Australia.
Stop.
It's incredible. Look it up, dude. Margot Robbie has a video of her like going through Australian slang. It's good wank material. You know. By the way,
imagine just being so hot that just like any video of you, people have furiously jerked off.
Yeah,
to.
I wasn't furious. I was content. But that video that was circulating, the Huck 2 girl, you know what I'm talking about? That's everywhere now. Ew, that was a gross swallow.
Yeah, that sounded disgusting. On the mic.
Nice, dude.
I hope we can cut that out.
That was crazy.
You guys are fucking assholes.
But that Huck 2 girl, that was the first interview that I've jerked off to.
Really?
Since Larry King died, yeah. Yeah. I just watching her be asked a question and her say that was enough for me to get off. Yeah.
Just furiously beat your meat to it.
Why is it always furious with you, man? I do it slow and contemplative.
I mash it like I'm making potatoes, dude.
I do the philosopher statue,
No.
like with the guy with his head like this. That's how I jerk off, and I just ponder. I ponder my sexuality. Yeah.
Is it gay?
Yeah. Is this a problem? Should this be a crime? Yeah.
Do you feel weird when you jerk off?
No, I feel really good.
You feel shame?
No, actually, no. I have a pretty healthy relationship with masturbation and porn. Like, I'll watch it sometimes, but I hear some people talk about addiction or like how they keep going back to it. They'll watch multiple videos a day. I never watch multiple videos a day. I'm a one and done, if that. Yeah, I think, and also I don't search for stuff. I go to the homepage, I scroll, I wait to find something that piques my boner, and then I will watch that. And I don't need to like keep looking like that. I found my video. Usually that'll be enough. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was, and I'll pick a second video, but that's it. Second video tops.
Me and my friend are like Venmoing each other $20 every time that we have to watch. Every time we watch pornography right now.
How much money have you lost?
$60 in a month.
Okay, wow, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm the kind of guy where dude, when you jerk off and you don't use porn, it's more like this. Like,
Yeah.
there's something just disturbing
It's
about
more
it.
spiritual.
Yeah. It is spiritual.
So you're still jerking off, just not watching porn.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. I feel like that's an acceptable way.
And
to
are
do it.
you going based off memory or fantasy?
Memory.
Okay. And are you going memory of sex you've had or porn that you've watched? Because I think that's cheating. If you're not watching porn, okay. Sex that you've
Prior
had.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually be really sad.
Your
if
mother
you were,
was in town.
If you were jerking off to like videos you remembered, I think that's the same as watching porn.
There is one girl that I saw where I was just like, oh my God.
Really? What's her name?
I don't remember.
What's his name? Damn it. I had missed a perfect opportunity to call you gay.
Dude.
Let's start the podcast over.
Look, when you go to do Some of This Is Bad later, they're going to try to tell you that I'm gay.
Okay.
Do not listen.
So that the gay probing thing you warned me about is real?
They're going to try to tell you that I'm gay, though.
Okay.
And it's just propaganda.
Are you?
No. I'm 100% straight.
Prove it. Do something straight.
Wait.
Okay, yeah, you're gay. That was pretty good.
Do something straight.
I mean, now you mentioned I've never seen you do something straight, so yeah, now I'm starting to have my suspicions.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Goodcase, everybody.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. This was
Dude.
fun.
Well, check out Ryan's new special. What's the name of it?
Maybe they're dead.
Maybe They're Dead. And watch his literally the most viral stand-up clip of all time.
It's not true, but thank you.
40 million views, dude.
33.
The numbers are going up. Are they still peaking?
No, it's plateaued pretty good.
Plateaued?
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's a fucking hell of a run.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm stoked.
Come see Ryan, and he will be on my couch all weekend. So.
Yes. And on tour. See you out there.
Stanford, Washington, D.C.
Arlington, Virginia. Hold on. Give me one more second. Chicago, Toronto, New York City, Tampa Bay, Florida, maybe Naples, Florida. And that's about it. Chicago. Did I say that? Seattle, Portland. All right, I'm done.
Palmdale,
California.
Oh, you looked it up? You got them?
Yeah. Palmdale.
Read those dates, Brandon.
All right, let me go back up. Houston, Arlington, Pittsburgh, Portland, Seattle, Toronto, Stamford, New York, Chicago, Tampa Bay, Los Angeles, Palmdale.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Goodcase, everybody.
Bye.
Good job, dude.
That was fun. Was that good?
That was great.
Sorry I called you gay.